As Israel continues to intensify its strikes against the Hezbollah group, multiple explosions were reported in the southern suburbs of Beirut. The Hezbollah chief says indirect talks on a ceasefire are possible, but only if Israel stops its attacks on Lebanon. In a televised address, Naim Qassem said that there could be a road to indirect negotiations through the Lebanese state if Israel stops its aggression. But the Hezbollah leader also said that he does not believe that the political action would bring an end to hostilities. He said that only developments on battlefield and not political moves would bring an end to the hostilities between the group and the Israeli military.
When the enemy decides to stop the aggression, there will be a path to negotiations that we have defined clearly. Indirect negotiations through the Lebanese state and President Nabi Berri, who holds the banner of the political resistance, which leads to Lebanon's stature and the end of the aggression.
The Hezbollah chief further said that they will continue to fight, and a win for either Kamala Harris or Donald Trump in the US election did not make any difference to them. Remember, United States' diplomatic efforts to halt the war between Israel and the Hezbollah, including a 60-day-long ceasefire proposal, faltered last week ahead of the elections. The statement came as Israel struck eastern city of Baalbek in the Bekaa Valley. According to the country's health ministry, the strikes killed at least 40 people and wounded another 53. And at dusk time, more strikes hit Beirut's southern suburbs. Israeli strikes have battered the Hezbollah strongholds in the capital. At least 4 strikes targeted the area on Wednesday after the Israeli military ordered residents to evacuate from several locations. Meanwhile, the Hezbollah fired missiles at an Israeli military base near Ben Gurion Airport. The Israeli media reported a rocket had landed near the airport. Later, the Israeli military said dozens of projectiles had crossed into Israel from Lebanon, some of which were intercepted. There's also anger in Israel over Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu's decision to replace the defense minister, Yoav Gallant. Protests erupted in different cities like Nahariya, Haifa, and Jerusalem as well, close to Netanyahu's residence. Israeli officers mounted on horseback used water cannons to disperse crowds on the streets on Tuesday. And our correspondent Jody Cohen tells us how Israel and Netanyahu have reacted to Donald Trump's US presidential win and whether it will even affect the course of the war.
In a new Channel 12 poll, it showed that 67% of Israelis are satisfied with Trump winning, 18% are unhappy and 15% weren't sure. Now, families of the 7 American-Israeli hostages have called on President Trump to work with the Biden administration to secure the release of their loved ones. And remember, Trump said that he wants to see all American hostages freed or their captors would pay a big price. Now, in Trump's acceptance speech, he said that he's going to stop the wars. Commentators suggest that we could see the Gaza war ending potentially by inauguration, and then to see Trump focusing on expanding the Abraham Accords, potentially to include Saudi Arabia. Now, Prime Minister Netanyahu was one of the first world leaders to speak with President Trump after his win. They had a warm conversation. Reportedly, it lasted roughly 20 minutes, and the 2 leaders agreed to work together for Israel's security and also discuss the Iranian threat.
For all the latest news, download the WION app and subscribe to our YouTube channel.